Yes. So today's workshop, today's workshop title. So this is today's workshop title. Yes. So this is about Fast API. This is about Fast API. So today's workshop title is Fast API. Okay. You're learning Fast API. But before talking about Fast API, okay. So let me tell you about, yes. So before talking about Fast API, now what is the workshop title is Fast API. Okay. Means you are learning Fast API, but let me tell you about, so what is the use of this Fast API or what is a Fast API is. But before that, let me talk about, so this is using Python. Okay. This is using Python and this is very much useful for web application developers and web service developers, data science people, and AI engineers. Okay, so what is the prerequisites for learning this is you should have the knowledge of Python and some of the knowledge of web development. If you know this, then learning this fast API is very easy. Okay, right? Anyway, you will need to know Python language. Minimum, you require a Python language. Okay, if you know this Python language, then easily you can learn fast API, right? So let me tell you about what is first. So why we required an API? What is API? Okay. Yes. Any answer for this? Online students? Any answer for this? What is API? So API, very good. API stands for API stands for Application Programming Interface. API stands for Application Programming Interface. Application Programming Interface. Okay, that is what you mean by API. Application Programming Interface. So API, yes, APIs are used. APIs are used in order to have communication between two applications. Communication between two applications. So one application communicate with another application by using what here? APIs. Okay, by using what here? APIs. So what it define some standards? What it define some standards are some set of rules and regulations. Or what it define the abstracts. Okay, how one application communicate with what another application, that is defined by what here? API. Okay, so APIs are used in order to have communication between two applications. Okay, for example, in real time, okay, you find so many APIs provided by so many people. Okay, so many APIs provided by so many people. Like suppose you are developing a mobile application. Suppose you are developing a mobile application, right? This is your mobile application. This is its application here, mobile application. Okay, assume that this is your mobile application. So what is this application is? Mobile application. So assume that you are developing one mobile application and this mobile application want to use some resources. Okay, this mobile application want to use some resources of another application. For example, you have an HDFC bank is there. HDFC bank is there, right? Now, this mobile application want to use the services of which application? Bank application. This mobile application want to use the services of which application? bank application. Assume that this mobile application is written in one language. Assume that it is written in Kotlin. Okay. And assume that this bank application, it is a web application. Okay. And this application is written in what? Python language or any other language. Now this mobile application want to communicate. This mobile application want to communicate with what? Web application. Okay, but this is written in what? Python language, and this is written in what? Kotlin language. But how this both the applications can communicate with each other? Okay, so one person knows one language, one person knows what? Another language, right? One person knows one language and one person knows another language, right? Then how one application communicate with what? Another application? Then you require some standards. You require some standards, and that standards, okay, that standards, which you call it as APIs. That standards, you call it as which one here? API. So that is application programming interface. A best example, if you see here, a best example, if you see here, like a best example, if you see, I think you know Python database communication. You know Python database communication. Yes, you know Python database communication. Okay. So Python program communicate with various databases. Python program communicate with various databases. For example, you have a Oracle database. Assume that you have a MySQL database. Okay, assume that you have a SQL Server database. So these are database applications. This is SQL Server. Okay, and this is assume that MySQL. Okay, this is MySQL, and assume that this is what here? Oracle. Assume that this is Oracle. Okay, and here this is your Python program. So these are two different applications. These are two different applications. This is the application written in what? Python language. And this is which application? Database application. This is database application or software. This is database application or what? Software. Then how your Python application communicate with, how your Python application communicate with database. Okay, how your Python application communicate with various databases. Various databases. Okay, how it communicate? Okay, assume that this MySQL people provide one library. Assume that MySQL people provide a library. A library they provided. Assume that they provided one library, which you call it as a driver. They provide one library, and this library you call it as which one? Driver. Okay. Okay, assume that there is a MySQL connector, right? There is a MySQL connector. There is a MySQL connector. So MySQL connector is having functions, right? MySQL connector is having some functions. MySQL connector is having some functions. Okay, and using these functions, you communicate with what? MySQL database. For example, Oracle. Oracle, if you want to communicate with Oracle, then Oracle provides a library, or Oracle provide a library or driver. Okay, what is that driver is? Okay, previously it is MySQL, now it is Oracle DB. Now it is Oracle DB. And this is Oracle DB is a library to communicate with which database? Oracle database. To communicate with what? Oracle database. Now previously it is CX underscore Oracle, but it is abstract means it has been changed. The name is changed. Name is changed to what here? Oracle DB. Oracle DB. Previous versions is CX underscore Oracle. Now it has been changed. The name is changed to what? Oracle DB. Okay. Now Oracle DB is having his own functions. MySQL connector is having its own functions. And assume that there is a library to communicate with what? SQL Server. There is a library to communicate with what here? SQL Server. And what is the library to communicate with SQL Server is PyMS SQL. Okay, PyMS SQL. This is a library to communicate with which database? SQL Server database. Okay, assume that is it functions of all these libraries are same or different? Come on, tell me here. Yes, is it functions of all these functions will be the same or different? Functions of all these libraries will be the same or different? Functions of all these libraries are same or different? Same or different? Same. Function names are same, but implementation is what? Different. Function names are same, but implementation are what? Different. Okay, how you communicate with the database, how you connect to the database by using a function called which one? Connect. By using a function called which one? Connect. By using a function called connect. Here also, what is the name of the function is connect. What is the name of the function here again? Connect. Is it function name is the same or different? Same. But implementation is what? Different. But who is given who's given this rules and regulations? The Python people are given some rules and regulations. These Python people are given some rules and regulations. And what is that rules? You call it as DB. DB, what is that? API. What is that is? DB API. What is that? DB API. DB API stands for database API. What it provide? What it provide? What it provide? Abstracts. It is provide an abstracts how to develop database libraries, how to develop database drivers, how to develop database drivers. So that abstracts are given by whom? Python. That abstracts are given by whom? Python. And implemented by whom? Database vendors. Implemented by whom? Database vendors. And these functions are called by whom? Python program. These functions are called by whom? Python program. It means your Python program is a database dependent or independent? Tell me. Your Python program database dependent or independent? Yes, online students. Your Python program database dependent or independent? Independent because is it functions are same or not? Yes. You are writing the code respective to the database or independent of database? Independent of database. It means how one application communicating with another application by following certain rules and regulations. And that rules you call it as which one? API. So API acts as a, now it is just like a library, and API acts as a mediator, or API is use one application connect with what? Another application. Is it clear? Is it clear, online students? Yes, is it clear or not? Okay. So how one application communicate with what? Another application. So it this communication is done by using what? API, that is application programming interface. So DB API is used to communicate with what? Databases. DB API is used to communicate with what? Databases. Yes, but actually see the API is the same, but code is the same, but what we have to do? We have to change only the library. Yes or no? Pradhan, we have to change only the library. Code is the same or not? If I want to communicate with MySQL, you just configure MySQL. But will you do changes in complete code? No, no. Suppose if these functions are different, PySQL functions are different, MySQL connector functions are different, and Oracle DB functions are what? Different. If all these functions are different, then what will happen? You need to call the function specific to what driver. In that case, your application becomes, your program becomes database dependent or independent? Dependent. But is it communicating independent of database or not? Yes, because it is following the same rules and regulations. It is following the same rules and regulations. Okay. So API generally it is used to have a communication between one application with what? Another application. Is it clear, online students? Is it clear? Yes. You understood what is API is? You understood what is API is? Yes. You understood what is API is? Right. Okay. So let me, okay. Now this is clear. Next is, now here you have an API. So now let me, before talking about fast API, let me tell you about what is, okay, what is web application? What is web? What is web application? Yeah, tell me what is web application? Yes, I'll tell you. Don't worry. I'll tell you, Shravan. So what is web application? What is web application? So web application is a collection of what programs. Web application is a collection of programs which includes, okay, which includes what it includes. It includes a front end as well as what back end. It includes a front end and back end. It is an application. It is an application which is accessible. It is an application which is accessible from where? Browser. Any application which is accessible from browser is called which application? Web application. Okay, right? Is it clear this one? Any application which is accessible from browser is called which application? Web application, right? Then next one is what is, okay, what is web service? Okay, there is a web application and there is what? Web service. Web service is there. Tell me what is web service? What is web service? Web means internet, right? Okay, web application is an internet or internet application or not? Yes. Web application is web application is internet or intranet application. And this application is accessible from browser. Okay. What is web service? Web means internet, right? Okay, web means what here? Internet. Okay, which is now web application is served from browser. Yes. Yes. What is web service? So web service. Service is nothing but a program. What is a service? Service is a program. Service is a program which is accessed using what internet, which is accessed using internet. Okay, internet. Who's accessing it? Who's accessing it? A service is a program which is accessed by which is accessed by which applications? Different applications. It is a service accessed by different applications. What is that applications is? That application can be a web application, that can be a mobile application, that can be a mobile application. Okay, that can be a desktop application, that can be a AI application, AI application. Any application can access that. Now, in the last seminar, I mean, last workshop, we have seen how web application uh, send a request to what ChatGPT. I said ChatGPT integration, right? In the last workshop, I said ChatGPT integration. Now, how you are communicating, how your web application is communicating with GPT model, how you are sending the prompts, how you are sending the prompts, how your web application is communicating with the model, how your web application is communicating with the model. It is communicating with the model. So your ChatGPT provide a service. It provide one service. What is that service? Is called a web service. It provide endpoints. You call it as endpoints, or it provide what? A service by using which you can give a prompt to what? A model. GPT model, you can give the prompt. Yes or no? Huh? So what is web service? Is a program which is accessed using internet, and service is a program which is accessed by different applications. For example, you have a, okay, assume that you are developing online shopping application. You do the payment, right? You do the payment by using different payment approaches. For example, you are doing a payment using UPI, like Google Pay or Phone Pay. Then your application is using a services of what? Google Pay or what? Phone Pay. Yes. So Google Pay, Phone Pay, it is providing some services. That services are used by different applications, right? So what is a service? Service is nothing but what? Program. Web service is nothing but a program which is accessed using what? Internet. And service is a program which is accessed by different applications. And it can be a web application, or it can be a mobile application, it can be a desktop application, or it can be what? AI application. Are you getting or not? Are you getting or not? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. For example, you go to ATM. For example, you go to ATM. This is an ATM. This is an ATM, and this is an ATM of which one? SDFC Bank. Okay. But you have a debit card of which one? ICICI Bank. You have a debit card of which one? ICICI Bank, right? So this is which ATM? SDFC ATM. But you have a which debit card? ICICI debit card. Now I just carry this ICICI Bank debit card and go to which ATM? SDFC ATM. When I insert the card, what will happen? Is it my card is belongs to SDFC Bank or ICICI? Come on, tell me here. Is it my card is belongs to SDFC or ICICI? ICICI, right? It means SDFC ATM application is using some services. It is using some services of which bank? ICICI. ICICI. It means this ICICI is providing some services. This ICICI is providing some services. Services they are providing it. What is that services is called a web service. Yes, what is that service is called here? Web service. Okay, are you getting or not? Online students are getting or not, right? So they are providing some services to whom? SDFC or some other banks, so that they can perform certain operations. So that they can perform certain operations. Is it clear? All of you, is it clear? Yes. Then how to develop this APIs? How to develop this APIs? How to develop? How to develop? How to develop this APIs, or what do you call it as web services or web APIs? Web services or web APIs, right? And that is what I'm telling you. Both are same. Both are same. Both are same. Same. Saho. Both are same. Don't think something else. Yes. How to develop this web services or web APIs? Okay. Okay. To develop this, now you are developing it. But for developing this, you have to follow some rules and regulations. Okay. Rules and regulations. you have to follow some rules and regulations. Rules and regulations, because you may write this web APIs or web services in different languages. Then all these people should follow the same rules or different rules. They should follow the same rules or different rules. They should follow the same rules or different rules. They should follow the same rules or not. Yes. So there is one architecture. There is one architecture. There is one architecture called REST. There is one architecture called which one? REST. REST is an architecture. What is a REST stands for is representational state transfer architecture style. Okay. Yes. What is a REST stands for? Representational. So representational. Okay. So any mistake don't will. Okay. Representational. Okay. State. What do you call it as transfer? State transfer architecture. Okay, architecture style. It is an architecture. So what this architecture defines some rules and regulations. And this is an architecture. Then what is a REST API? What is a REST API? What is a REST API? REST API, a REST API is an application programming. Yes, mistake. No problem. Yeah, that is what I said. Don't feel. So, so software person should know coding here, not English. Huh? Yes, sir. You agree here? Don't no agree here. Okay, both. You should know both. Right. So, but while typing, you find some mistakes, right? Yes. So REST API is an hmm, application programming interface. Ah, I'm saying communication, you required English. What spelling, sir? Okay, it defines what it defines designing principles. What it define here, designing principles. It defines some set of rules and regulations. Defines designing principles. Define designing principles. Okay, it is a designing principles. Correct. It is a designing principles. So how it means this REST define an architecture, and REST API, it provides some set of rules and regulations. Okay, and this REST API is implemented by different people in different languages. This REST principles are implemented by different people in different languages. Okay. Now when it comes to the Python, what do you have? When it comes to the Python, what do you have? Fast API. When it comes to the Python, what do you have? DRF. Okay, so fast API, DRF. DRF stands for Django REST. REST, what is that? Framework. Django REST framework. See, these are Django REST framework. Django REST framework is written in which language? Python language. A fast API is written in which language? Python language. Okay, fast API is a REST API only. Okay, it is developed by following which rules? REST rules. REST is an architecture, and REST API define what do you call it as abstracts. And these abstracts are implemented in Python, and they developed which one? Fast API. This framework, these principles are implemented and developed which one? Django REST framework. Are you getting what I'm telling you? Are you getting what I'm telling you? Yes. Okay. Now I think you understood. So what is a REST? REST API, Fast API, DRF. Okay, na? Fast means fast only. Maheshwari. Fast means fast only. No abbreviation for fast. Okay, no abbreviation for fast. Fast means jaldi. Jaldi means very fast. Okay, right. There's no abbreviation for that. Okay. Yeah, DRF stands for Django REST framework. Okay. So it means what is the meaning of this? Fast means jaldi. Anjaneyulu. Teluga, your Telugu, right? ఫాస్ట్ అంటే తొందరగా చేయొచ్చు, తొందరగా డెవలప్ చేయొచ్చు. ఓకేనా? సో ఫాస్ట్ ఏపీఐ ఈజ్ విచ్ ఏపీఐ? రెస్ట్ ఏపీఐ డెవలప్డ్ ఇన్ విచ్ లాంగ్వేజ్? పైథాన్ లాంగ్వేజ్. ఓకే. అండ్ డిఆర్ఎఫ్ इज Django REST framework. हिंदी में जल्दी जल्दी कर सकते हैं, बहुत इजी से डेवलप कर सकते हैं. ओके. यस. DRF stands for Django REST framework. Okay. And this is also developed by using which rules? REST rules. REST is architecture and REST API is what? Is an abstracts. And these are implemented by different languages. Okay, na? Right? Clear? Okay, no problem. Then what is a Django? What is Django? What is Flask? What is Fast API? Tell me here. Now come on, tell me. You should tell. What is Django? Django is for developing what? Web framework. This is which framework? Web application framework. This is a web application framework. Use it for developing. Use it for developing. Use it for developing which applications? Web applications. You develop web applications using this. And this is complete framework. It is a complete full stack web framework. Django is a full stack. Django is a full stack framework. Means everything is available. This is full stack framework. Then next is a Flask. Flask is also what? Web application framework. Flask is also what? Web application framework. It is also web application framework. Web application framework. And use it for developing web apps. Use for developing web applications. Okay, web applications. And this is a micro framework. Means everything will not be available. Micro framework. This is a micro framework, not full stack framework. So full stack means everything is available. Models, database, everything comes with the Django. But here everything will not come. What is Fast API? What is Fast API? Is what? REST API. Fast API is what? REST API, or it is a framework. It is a web framework. It is a web framework for developing, for developing, for developing what? What you are developing? Follow here. What you are developing? Web services, or you are developing APIs. You are developing web services or you are developing APIs. And even you can develop microservices. Even you can develop microservices by using faster API. So DRF. What is DRF? Django REST framework. Okay. Yes, these are two different people develop it. Okay. Microservices. Microservice also one type of web service. Microservice also one type of web service that you learn. Now this is not right time to talk about it, right? So, but what we are learning is web service. You understood the differences, all of you? You understood the differences, all of you, right? Okay, very good. Very good to hear from you, right? At least you understood. Okay. Yes. Let us clear. So why we are using fast API? Come on, answer it. Come on, answer it. Why we are using a fast API? Why we are using fast API? Please answer it. Sorry. For developing web services. For developing web services. Okay, very good. Okay. Yes. Uh, those who are watching. Developing web services. Where you use this web services? Tell me where we use this web services. Where we use these web services. These web services are used by. These web services are used by. Which one? Which applications? Web applications. These web services are used by mobile applications. These web services are used by desktop applications. These web services are used by AI applications. Getting on. So one application uses the services of another application, or one application communicate with what? Another application. A mobile application communicate with mobile. A mobile application communicate with a web application by using what? Web services. A mobile application communicate with different applications by using what? Web services. Okay, right? And REST API is developed based on, yes, yes, a desktop application communicate with web application by using web services. Yes, Anil. Yes. పని ఏంటి అంటే ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ అప్లికేషన్ ఇస్ డెస్క్టాప్ మొబైల్ అప్లికేషన్ ఇస్ దేర్ నో అనిల్ కే మొబైల్ అప్లికేషన్ ఇస్ దేర్ నో గూగుల్ పే యు ఆర్ యూజింగ్ గూగుల్ పే యు ఆర్ యూజింగ్ కెన్ యూ ట్రాన్స్ఫర్ ద అమౌంట్ ఫ్రమ్ వన్ అకౌంట్ టు అనదర్ అనిల్ కే okay Google Pay is which application? Mobile application. Now you are transferring the amount from one account to another. You required internet, Google Pay work with internet or without internet? With internet or without internet? With internet, right? Internet kawale. Then how you transfer from one account to another account? How you are checking the balance? From Google Pay, are you checking balance? Your account balance or not? Yes. Is it Google Pay is having balance? Your bank is having balance or your Google Pay? Who knows? Yes, bank. Then Google Pay should communicate with what? Bank. Then banking people should provide some services. Banking people should provide some services or not? Huh? Banking people should provide some services or not? Yes. What is that services are? Web service. Amazon is there. Amazon, Flipkart. You're doing some payments and all the things, right? How it is done? By using? Yes. Understood? Right. Yes. 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 Endpoints. Those are called endpoints, or those are called services. Okay. Yes. Then Fast API is a REST API, or it is a web framework for developing what web services are web APIs. Okay. Web services are web APIs. Fast API. Okay, it is a web application framework, web framework, and it is used. So what is a fast API? So fast API is a modern, fast, high performance web framework for building. Okay, this is the definitions for building APIs within which language? Python language. It is using which language? Python language, and it is built on okay star Starleti. It is built on Starleti and Pydantic. Pydantic. Okay. So it is built on two components. One is Starleti and one more is what? Pydantic. So maybe. Okay, these are two main components. This is called as a engine. This is called as which one? Engine. This is an engine which will process. This is an engine which will process which code web service. This is the engine which process web. Yes. What is the name of the engine is Starleti. This is called actually ASGA server. This is called as which one? ASGA server. And one more is Pydantic. That is for data validation, serializations and deserialization is done by, is done by using one. It is done by using one, okay, one module or one package. And what is the name of this is Pydantic. Suppose if you are working with Django REST, you take the help of serializers and serializers by using which you convert models into JSON, JSON into what? Model instance. That is done by using what do you call it as serializers when you're working with DRA. Okay, but when it comes to this fast API, it provide one package, or it provide one package, or it provide one component, and what is the name of the component is Pydantic, right? Yes. Okay. And what is a Starlet is a web parts or it is an engine. It is an engine which will take care of. It is an engine which is take care of execution of what server. So it is nothing but a server. It is nothing but a server which is implemented by using ASGI. Okay, whatever servers you are using in Django, you call it as which servers? WSGI, Web Server Gateway Interface. And ASGI stands for Asynchronous Server Gateway Interface. Okay, now Starlet is implemented by using which one? ASGI, asynchronize, synchronize, asynchronize. Asynchronize means it allows more than one request to be processed simultaneously. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. It is asynchronous by design, meaning it works really with Python, asynchronize and await, right? Asynchronize, asynchronize, right? So there is a serializers will be there, no? Like how one application, how one applications, how one application, right? So what are the key features? What are the key features is you understood this? What is a starlity? Yeah, you understood what is a starlity? Online students, what is a starlity? Is nothing but ASGI server. Is nothing but what? ASGI server. It is a ASGI server, right? It is a ASGI server. And what is Pydantic? It is for serializing and deserializing. So what is Starlet is a server. It is a web server. It is a web server. It is a web server. Web server, right? It means who will execute who will execute your program? Who will execute your program? You write a web service, right? Who will execute that web service? You require a runtime, right? Will you require a runtime? You require an engine, right? You require an engine. Yes, you require an engine, and that engine has to be developed by following some rules and regulations. There are two rules are there. One is WSGA and one more is what? ASGA. For example, Django uses server. Which server it uses? WSGA, which understand. Okay, WSGA. Okay, WSGA. It means Django application implemented by using which protocol? WSGA. Implemented by using which protocol? WSGA, right? You follow the rules of WSGA for developing which application? Django application. In the same way, in the same way, Here also you are developing an application and that application is executed by one server. But FastAPI is providing which server? WSGI server or ASGI server? ASGI, which is nothing but asynchronous, okay, server gateway interface. WSGI stands for web server gateway interface. Means that is an engine which will take care of execution of web applications, or that is will take care of taking the request and processing the response and generate. All these are done by which one? WHGA, and one more is what? ASGA. These are nothing but engines. Okay, engine. These are nothing but what? Engines. And that is developed. These are abstracts or these are the rules by using which you develop different engines. ASGA engines and WHGI engines are developed by using this rules and what? Regulations. Okay, na? So who will execute your web service developed by who will execute your web service developed in using fast API? Who will execute ASGI? What is ASGI stands for? Asynchronous server gateway interface. If you are developing Django application, who will execute Django application is WSGI. Okay, Django REST framework also executed by WSGI server engine. It is an engine which will take care of execution of, because who will take the request? Server. Who will generate the response? Your program will generate the response, but that response is given to whom? That response is given to whom? Server, and server generate the output, right? Server will generate what here? Output. Yeah, Alicia, you want anything? Any doubts are there? Alicia, Jacob, you have any doubts? No doubts, huh? Okay. Okay, if you have any doubts, you can ask in the chat. Okay, right? What I'm saying, you are understanding? Huh? What I'm saying, you are understanding? Alicia. Yes, okay, no problem. So this is automatic validations like check request response data using Pydantic. It's nothing but I say no. How one application exchange the data? How one application exchange the data with another application? How one application exchange the data with what? Another application in web. When you're working with web APIs or web services, this exchanging is done by using which format? JSON format. How this exchanging is done? By using which format? JSON format. What is JSON stands for? Come on here. What is JSON stands for? JSON stands for JavaScript object notation. JavaScript object notation. It is a standard. It is a standard. Use it to exchange the data between one application and another application. One application and another application, right? For example, this application is written in which language? Java. But your web service is written in which language? Python. Your web service is written in which language? Python. And this application is written in which language? Java. So Java is having its own data types. Sorry. Java is having its own data types and Python also have its own data types, right? Is it possible to exchange the data? Is it possible to exchange the data? No, it is not possible, right? Because Java is having its own representation of data and Python is having its own representation of data. So they cannot exchange it. Then they should exchange it by using one common format. And what is that common format is? JSON. And then what Java will do? Java create one JSON object and send that JSON to what? Python. Send the JSON to which one? Python. Send that JSON data to which one? Python. Okay, right. Is it Python can understand JSON? Yes. JSON request and JSON response. JSON request and JSON response. Yes or no? Okay, in the same way, assume that, okay, assume that Assume that this is database. Okay, this is database. Now, this data comes in which format? JSON format. This data comes in which format? JSON format. I want to convert this JSON into a model instance or database instance. I want to convert this into a model instance or database instance or database object. Then how can I convert this JSON into Python object? How can I convert this JSON into a Python object by using what? By using what? By using what here? There is one library. What is the name of this is? Pydantic. What is the name of this is? Pydantic, which will convert JSON into Python. That is called as serialization. Yes, that is called as serialization. And that is done. You don't require to do it. It is provided predefined. Okay, it is provided predefined. Okay, you want to convert JSON into a model instance. You want to convert model instance into what? JSON. This conversion and validations. This conversion and validations is done by using one library. And what is the name of the libraries? Pydantic, right? And not only that, you are understanding this feature, sir. Okay, right? Interactive docs, like it is provided Swagger UI by using which you can test your API. You can test your API by using Swagger user interface. You can test your API and it will support asynchronous. It is a perfect for modern applications needing concurrency. Concurrence means what is the concurrency is simultaneous. Concurrency means what here? Simultaneous. Okay. All these are the yes key features. Multiple users, right? This is what I said, like web APIs or web backend services, and you can say RESTful APIs for web apps or mobile apps, right? Yes, microservices, that is lightweight. What is UV corn is? UV corn is a server. UV corn is what your server which implement what? ASGI. UV corn is a server which implements what? ASGI. UV corn is the name of the ASGI server. UV corn is the name of the ASGI server. Yes, Mohit. UV corn is a UV corn is what? Server. Okay, which implement which protocol? ASGI protocol or ASGI rules. Okay. Yes. So law microservices are lightweight and fast backend service communicate with each other, right? Yes. What is Swagger UI means? It is a UI. Yes. So this unicorn is for ASGA and yes, G unicorn is for WGA. Yes, Kamal Yadav. Yes. What is a Swagger? What is a Swagger is? It is a user interface. It is a user interface for testing your web services. It is a user interface for testing what web services. Azmat Azmat Hussain. It is an interface for testing your web services. How you test your web services by using you required one interface or not? Okay, you required one interface for testing. Yes, how you test it? You test it by using one interface. And what is that interface is? Swagger interface. Okay. Like suppose when you're working with DRF, you try to use Postman. Yes, yes, here. Money content. Yes, very good. We can use also Postman. Yes, Postman also can use it. But here you have a built-in, right? Money content. You have a built-in, inbuilt you get. You don't require. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Then yes. See, a lot of things are there, Abhishek. You have so many. You can use PyTest also. Okay, you can use PyTest, Abhishek. You can also use PyTest for testing your APIs. Okay, a lot of tools are there. Okay, now even microservices and machine learning AI APIs, you can deploy ML models as a REST API. Okay, as a REST API. Okay, example is you go to chart anything, ChatGPT or Gemini, anything you take. Okay, yes, request model, Kamal, yes. Okay, now here I'm typing something like this, no? ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a, this is what? This is which application? Dekho yaar, this is which application? Tell me, ChatGPT is which application? Web application, yes. ChatGPT is which application? Web application. Web application. See, this is web application. You open this in browser, yes. This is front end or what? This is front end, right? This is web page or not? Yes. You are asking something here. You are asking something here. Okay, what is Apple? You are asking something, right? This is a prompt. What is this is prompt, right? This prompt and you press enter. Yes or no? You press enter. When you press enter, what will happen? Tell me here. When you press enter, what will happen? Goes to the server. Goes to the server. Data gone, huh? Goes to the server. What server will do? What server will do? This server send this prompt to what? Model. It will send to a model, right? Model. GPT. GPT, right? Model. Yes. Yes or no? You are training the model by giving some input, right? What is that model is? GPT. Okay, that will generate some output. And that output is given to server. Server sent to what? Client. In the form of, yes, yes. Now here it is given. This is the output given, right? But this output is in which format? HTML only, right? This output is HTML or something else? Output is a web page. Is it this is web page? Tell me this output is a web page or not? Yes. Who's generating this output? Server. It means there is one API is there. That API is communicating with what? Model. And model is giving some output. And that output is embedded within the HTML page and given by whom? Some application. Right? That is web application. But how your web application is communicating with the model by using some services. Yes, by using some services. It can be any application, right? Okay, yes. Then next is what are the basic steps for developing? Now, practically, we'll say. Theoretically, you understood? All of you, all of you understood or not? Okay. Theoretically, you understood all these things, right? Okay. Right. Now, what are the basic steps? Okay, what are the basic steps for developing? See, microservices communicate, one service communicate with another here. So that is a different scenario. Okay. See, microservices uses different architecture of web service. Okay, right? Web services uses monolithic architecture. See, web services uses monolithic architecture, but microservices doesn't uses monolithic, right? Divide and conquer. It uses divide and conquer, right? So doesn't use the same architecture, right? Okay, now in order to work with fast API, you need to install two things. Okay, you have to install FastAPI, and FastAPI is what library? This is one library, and this is also you required. This is nothing but runtime environment or not? Yes. Okay, now this is UV core. It is server. Okay, where you try to deploy your which one web service, and that is used by no. I didn't say it same, right? Django is for Rishikesh. Django is for developing web applications, and FastAPI is used for developing web services. Understood? So web service can generate the output in different formats. It can generate output in HTML, it can generate output in different formats. But web application might generate output only in one format. What is that format? HTML. But this one will generate only an output, generate the output. And that output is used by different applications to process it. Okay, na? Right? So in order to work with, okay, in order to work with this, just open VS Code. So just open VS Code. Hmm. And you have to set up the environment. Before that, you just create one folder. So there's no commands like creating a structure, right? So you can just create one folder. You create one folder. Okay, here I'm creating one folder. So what is that folder is Fast API. Okay, one. So what is the name of my folder is Fast API one. You can give any application name. Okay, now this is your application folder. Okay, in this folder, you put all your services. Here you write all the programs. But before that, you have to set up the environment. Open the terminal and here install pip install. How many things you have to install it? Two things. One is the fast API. You have to install two things. One is the fast API and one more is what UV core. You have to install two things. Fast API. So fast API is a library and UV core is also library. And this implement which protocol ASGI and this implement which protocol REST. Okay, yes, install this both. Now it is already installed in my system. Okay, after this, what you have to do? After this, you have to create a web service. Now you have to create a web service. Create one simple program. Yes, create one simple program. And what is your program is some any name you can give. But what is the name I've given? Main.py. Main.py. Okay. Then import fast API class. Import fast API class. Yes. Again, I'm telling you, create a folder. Sudama Kumar, right? Create one folder. A folder create karo. In that folder, you write one program main.py. Before that, install two libraries. Before that, install two libraries. One is Fast API and one more is UVcorn. What is UVcorn is server. Huh? What is UVcorn is server. What Fast API is? Yes. What is Fast API is a library for developing. Yes. Is the API for developing. It is a API for developing web service. Okay. You have to install this both. What you have to do? You have to install this both. Okay, right? Mm. Yes. YouTube पे भी रहेगा शायद. Okay. Yes. Then first thing is you have to create. Multiple you can install at once by separating with space. You can install multiple libraries at once by separating with space. You can install multiple things at once by separating with the space. Okay, right? You can install multiple things by separating with the space. People list. How you check a people list? Yeah, people list बोलो. मोहित, people list बोले तो आ जाता. Whatever you install, all the list of libraries. देखो, जरा है ना? Yes. It might be helpful. Yes. Elisha Jacob. Yes, it might be helpful. Okay. If your Power BI is using some services of any other application, right? It might be helpful. Yes. For this, you should know only Python, Elisha. You should know only Python. You don't require so many things. Basic knowledge of Python is required. Okay. Suppose you are working with Power BI, you want to get some data, huh? You use some data, right? Alicia, use the data from different sources. Will use the data from different sources. Okay, then how you get the data from different sources? You should know how to use those APIs, which are built-in APIs. Sometimes you may build your own APIs, right? Okay, right? Okay, so it might be useful. So after this, create a fast API application. After this, nothing yet. You need to have a Python. Okay, yes. So create an object of fast API. Create application first. Create the application. Which application you created a fast API application? Created which application? Fast API application. Created which application? Fast API application. Okay. So what is fast API here? Class. You created object of which class? Fast API means you have developed which application? Fast API application. Then whenever you are talking about web service, you communicate or you send a request. You send a request by using different HTTP methods. You send a request by using different HTTP methods. You send a request by using different HTTP methods. Okay. Now you are sending a request. You are sending a request to this. Now this is your service. Now service is nothing but a function. What is the service is here? Function, read, route or something, anything you can give. What is this service is hello, say hello, or I'm saying hello, or I'm saying welcome, anything. I'm saying hello, or what is that? Welcome. Now this is a service. This is a service or this is a function. What this written? It written one message. What is that message is? Hello, fast API. Then how you send a request to this? By using which method? Get method. By using which method? Get method. You are trying to define the URL by using one decorator provided by Fast API. What is the name of the decorator at the rate app? What is the name of the decorator at the rate app? So that is a decorator. That is a decorator. That is a decorator. And what is the name of the decorator? Get. And you are trying to define the URL or path. Means I'm accessing this service by just typing what slash. I'm accessing this service by using slash. This is called endpoint. This is called as what? Endpoint. Even I can say hello. Means how I'm calling this. This is called as an endpoint. What is this is called as? Endpoint. Means how you are calling this service. You are calling this service by using one name. This is called as public name. This is called as endpoint. If you don't know endpoint, you cannot able to access this service. And how you are sending the request? You are sending the request by using which method? Get method. Means you communicate with this service by sending a request using which method? Get method. Get method. By using which method? Get method. And this is get. Get is a request method. And this is what your endpoint or URL. This is called as an endpoint or what is that? URL. Okay. Yes. Because it is a decorator, right? Decorator means decorator. So who you are decorating what your function? Not elsewhere, right? So you are decorating this function. It means this decorator is bind with only this function. You should not write elsewhere. It is a decorator. You should have a decorator knowledge. Huh? So what it is returning one message. What is the message it is returning? Hello. Hello what? Faster API. Right? So simple. Now this is a simple API which display the message. Okay, in which format? dictionary format, and that is key and value. This is in JSON format. Okay, now after developing this, you have to deploy and run. You have to deploy and run. You have to deploy and what? Run. You have to deploy this application and run. Okay, how you run this? You run this by using, what is the command is? Who will run this server, right? What is your server is? UV corner. What is your server is? UV corner. Okay, run this. Okay, run this. Okay, run this. How you are trying to execute this? You are trying to execute this by using server. You start the server. What is the name of your server is? UVCon. What is the name of your module is? Main. What is the name of your fast application is? APP. See here. This is your application name. And this application is available in which module? Main module. This application is available in which module? Main module. And here you are writing hyphen hyphen reload. Here you are writing hyphen hyphen reload. What is the meaning of this hyphen hyphen reload? It means whenever you do changes, whenever you do changes in your application, that changes will be done automatically. That changes will be reflected automatically without restarting it. So that is what you mean by hyphen hyphen reload. So what is the main? Main is nothing but your application. I mean, what do you call it as module name, application name. Okay, now what is your application object name is app. What is your application object name is app. And what is hyphen hyphen reload? This is an option which will automatically restart the server whenever you do the changes in what API. That is what he mean by reload here. So run this. So by default, it is running on which port number? 8000. It means your application is running on which port? 8000, right? So you can test it. How can you test it? You can test in the browser. Just open this. Open this. So open this. Okay. Now here, how you are accessing your web service by using one name. And what is the name is? What is the name is? Hello. What is the name is? Hello. You can see the message. What is the message is? Hello faster API. Hello faster API. Right? This is a response given by whom? Tell me. This is a response given by which service? Welcome. Yes. This service can used by any application. Okay. This service can used by what? Any application. Any application. For example, I'm writing a Python program. Okay, I'm writing and I just open ideally. You can run in anyone, right? Yeah, you can give like that. Kamal Yadav, you can give like that. Okay. Okay, you can just open a Python program. Okay. I just open Python. I'm writing a Python program, a simple Python program. And this is a standalone desktop program. This is which program? Desktop program. Okay, right? It's a dictionary. Yes, it is a dictionary, but that converts into JSON format. Okay, now this is my Python program. See here, this is which program? Dekho here, this is a desktop program. And this desktop program want to use the output of which one? Web program. This desktop program want to use the output of which program? This desktop program want to use the output of which program? Web program, right? Then for that you are testing it. Even you are testing it by using one object. What is the name of that is request. Okay, it means desktop application is communicating with what web application. Yeah, it will convert into JSON here. Abhishek, it will convert into JSON. You don't require. Okay. Now for that you are using import requests. What you are using import requests. So request is one module. And what is the name of this request? Request is what here? One module. Request is a module, right? A request is a module. What is the name of the module? Request. So here you should know base URL. Okay, what is a base URL? Where your service is running. HTTP, you should know URL, right? That is nothing but local host. And what is the port number is 8000. Now this is a base URL. So here 127 dot localhost also you can give, or 127 dot 0.0.1 8000. Then what is the endpoint? Endpoint is nothing but your service name. Endpoint is nothing but your service name. What is your service name is here? Hello. What is your service name here? Hello. Right? Then you are getting a response. Response equal to request dot get. You are sending a request using which method? Get method. And here I am saying base URL. I am writing a base URL plus what I am writing here? Endpoint. So print. Okay, response get is a method. Response dot. You can print text. You can print response dot text. Okay. Now you should see that this request model is available. Run the code. You can see message is hello FastAPI. Yes. Now it means this is a standalone application. Okay, assume that this is your mobile application and this mobile application is communicating with what web service. Yes, web application or web service. But for that, you are using one module. How you are testing it by using which module? Request. And this is a base URL and this is what here endpoint. And you are sending a request to which service? Hello. Hello is a URL. It is a public URL or endpoint. You are accessing this welcome function by using what? Hello. You are accessing this welcome service by using what? Hello. You are accessing this welcome service by using which one? Hello. Getting or not? But you are sending a request by using which method? Get method. Understood? And it will process the request and generate what? Response. Response. It will generate the response. Okay. Yes. Understood? Now this is how, but you should know endpoint and URL. This both things you should know it because your base URL will be same. But if you have multiple endpoints, then each endpoint is having his own name, right? Each endpoint is one name. Okay. Now even you can write. So even you can write it by sending values. Even you can write it by sending what values. Now get method and you can just give any name, not only this name. What is the endpoint name here? Items, and you are sending item ID, and there is a read item is a function, and this function receive two values. One is integer and one more is a string. These are called type hints. See what is a colon int is type int. Means item ID should be integer type and quantity should be what which type string type like that. Okay, it is called as type hinting. Okay, so type hinting which will define what type of value should be sent. But how you are accessing this? Tell me how you are accessing this endpoint. How you are accessing the read item endpoint by using item. But it should send a value or not. Yes, to this endpoint it should send a value or a query string. You should send a value as what your query string. Okay, you should send a value. Okay, how many values you should send? Two values. One is ID and one more is a name or what do you call it as quantity. Okay, so you can test it by using a request by sending values. You can test it by sending values. Okay, now here, yeah. So two parameters are there. This function is having two parameters, but you are sending one value as a part of URL. One value you are sending as a part of URL and other value you are sending. These are called captured parameters. I think if you know Django, right? These are called captured parameters, and this Q is nothing but a string. This Q is nothing but what here? String. Now here again I'm saying I'm sending a request. Base URL is the same. Okay. But what you're sending this is a product ID. What is the item ID is 42. And you are sending the value of Q. And what is the value of Q is some testing or something. Okay. Then I'm saying print response dot txt. That is nothing but output. So that is nothing but output. You can write with parameters. You can write without parameters. You can write with parameters. You can write without parameters. You can write with the captured parameters. Now you can see hello first API. Now item ID is 42 and Q value is what here? Testing. Okay, right? So these are captured parameters. This is called which parameter? Captured parameter. And remaining is what? Query string. Yes. So this is how it is accessible, right? You're sending as a part of query, right? Yes. Question mark. It is concatenated. How it is concatenated? By separating with what? Question mark. Right? These are two values, right? How many values are there? Two values. Then how these two values are separated? Tell me how these two values are separated by using? These two values are separated by using question mark. These two values are separated by using question mark. Okay, clearer? All of you, right? Yeah, it is accessing from there. It is accessing from there. Okay. So how you are accessing this? How you are accessing this service by using one URL? Dekho here, Vishal. How you are accessing it by using URL? And what is that URL is items. And here you are capturing one value. What is that value is? Item ID is required. Item ID is what? Required. But Q is required or optional? Optional. Q is not required. Q is what here? Optional. But which one is required? Item ID is required. So you are passing how many values to this read item is two values. For example, if I'm not writing this, I'm not writing this. I just write only what do you call it as items. Okay. Now this service is having how many parameters? Two parameters. One is ID and one more is a string, which is nothing but item name. Okay. Now I try to run this. Okay. Now this is my test API. Run this. You can see details not found because you are querying, right? You are saying that okay, I want I want details of this ID. I want this details of this particular ID. Okay, I want the details of this ID. Okay, details of this particular ID. Now you are sending what you are sending here. It is given error, right? What is the error is details not found, right? Here we are sending ID, right? Here we are sending ID, right? So you have to define with what here? ID, item ID, right? Now if you run this, now you can see, so message hello fast API, yes, okay, right? So let me, yes, this is a simple one. This is a simple one. This is a simple one where you need to send a value compulsory. You need to send a value of item ID. It is required. Then here I develop one simple API to perform some crude operations, that is communicating with the database. The code is very lengthy. Okay, right? Communicating with the database. Okay, now here we are using one database. And what is the database is SQLite. We are communicating. Yeah, I think you understood this code, online students. The previous code you understood. This code you understood. Okay, not this one. Okay, this code you understood. What is the URL here? Hello. What is the URL here? Items. This is called endpoint. Hello is endpoint and items also endpoint. If you want to access this read item, how you are accessing it by using items. If you want to access welcome, how you are accessing welcome by using hello. Okay, right? Okay. What is the meaning of singular? What is single? Singular. Single means what? What your question? What you are asking? Singular. Single means what here? What is your question? Mohit. Singular. What is single? Double. क्या है? कुछ हो गया क्या? What you are asking here? मोहित क्या पूछ रही है? Each one will have his own yes endpoints. See, all the endpoints will be deployed in one server only, Maheshwar Rao. It is one application, right? That application is referred with 8080, right? 808000, right? Yes. Okay. Yes. It is deployed in one server only. Yeah, you can write with the same name. Endpoint name can be the same as method name. Yes. No problem. You can give the same name. Endpoint name can be the same. Okay, endpoint name can be the same. Okay, right? Endpoint name can be the same. Okay, clear? Or any doubts? Previous code? Any doubts in previous code? Uh, now is it clear? My voice is clear, right? Okay. Previous code, any doubts are there? खाली एक सर्विस लिखा here and I send a request. क्या क्या रहा है? It's a simple code, 3 lines of code. Why you are making so complex? Only 3 lines of code I send. How many lines of code I write here? Only 3 lines. उसके लिए उतना ये क्या हो रहा है यार? What is your service name? Welcome. How you are accessing this service using hello? How you are accessing it by using hello? How to run this? What you write? UV Now start the application main app and one more is what reload. One more is what reload. That's it. Okay. So this is how you are starting your application. Like in Django, you'll say Python manage.py, but there it start the server, right? But here you are starting a server. What your server name is UVCon. What is your module name is main. What is your application object name is app. And then what hyphen reload. So whenever there is a changes, it will be loaded again or not? Yes. Okay. If any confusion is there here, you want to send some value. Let me tell you this one more. In the place of this, I'll write another one. What I'm writing another one. So at the rate app dot get I'm saying here slash. What is it? I'm saying hello, hello one. So what is the name of this is hello one. This is welcome one. This welcome one required some data. It required a message. I want to send a message. This is with parameter or without parameter. Tell me, this is with parameter or without parameter? With parameter, right? So what is the key? I'm saying message. Okay, message. Then what is the message is? The message which is sent by the client. The message sent by which one? Client. That's it. With parameter. This is welcome with parameter. Welcome one is with parameter or without parameter? With parameter. With parameter or without parameter? With parameter. So it is deployed automatically. So how many endpoints are there? Two. One is hello and one more is what? Hello one. Dekho here. From here I should call hello one, right? So base URL is the same. What is the next one is? Bolo yaar, यहाँ पे क्या है? Hello one. There is a hello one to which I am sending a message. What is the message I am sending? Okay. What is you have to send a message, right? What is the message? What is the message you are sending? You have to give some message, right? So here I'm writing message. Message equal to some message. I'm giving some message. And what is the message I said here? Hello. The message what I'm giving is hello, right? Just to run this code. Go here. But see the errors. What errors you'll get? You'll try to identify that errors. Hello fast API. Details not found. Because you are sending a message, right? You are sending a message as a required parameter and here you are trying to say hello one slash what is the name of this is message. It is a captured parameter. What is this parameter? Captured. Okay. Array endpoint. What is your name? AKku, ARku, ARku. How I am communicating with your name, right? Your name is required to communicate, right? Is it name is required to communicate or not required? Tell me here. ARku. Huh? ARku, some name is there, no? Your name is something. You are an endpoint. How I'm calling with how I'm calling your name? I'm calling your name with some name, right? Huh? So that name, that web service name, that you call it as URL or it is called endpoint. I want to call this welcome one. How I'm calling it hello one. I want to call this welcome. How I'm calling it by using hello. URL you required. URL required. Endpoint is required to call the service. Endpoint is required to call the service. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. So this is a required. What is the required value is message. And remaining values you can concatenate. Remaining values you can concatenate. Okay. So comma name. So name is required. Okay. Name is required. I said name. Here I need to send how many values now? How many values I should send? Two values. Here I'm saying name. Name is what here? Naresh. Okay, I said separated with what? Question mark. Already separated with the question mark. Run this. Run the module. This is how you are testing it. Huh? So hello fast API. So message what? Hello. You want along with the name. You want response should contain name also. Then message I should concatenate with what? Name. So I concatenated with the name, right? Send this. So test this. See here, message. You can say hello what? Naresh. Understood? What do you say here? Yes or no? Because this is required. This is what? Required. Which one is required? Message. And remaining values you can concatenate. Remaining values you can concatenate. Okay, by separating with what? Question mark. Remaining values you can concatenate by separating with what? Question mark. Okay. Yes. Clear? Bolo yaar. Okay, right. This is a simple web API or web service. Okay, na. But you can also communicate with the database. Okay, now you a client may request a data from database. Client may request data from database, right? Then it should read the data from database and it should convert into what? JSON. Okay, right? It should convert into JSON. For that, what you required? Serializers. But here, in the place of serializers, what you have? In the place of serializer, what you have? You have Pydantic. Huh? So this will convert Python instance in model instance into what? JSON. Model instance into a Python object, and Python object you can convert into what? JSON. Okay, right? So, so it will take a lot of time now. So because already 11:46, right? So you can also communicate with the database. You can also communicate with the database. Okay, this code I'll give you in my Telegram. So this is a code. This is a code for that is crude operations like creating product and reading products and reading one product and modifying the product and deleting the product. So for that you are using different request methods like post method, get method, put method, and this is what? Delete method. These are HTTP request methods. Okay, and this is a model. Model means how you develop a model by using SQL Alchemy. SQL Alchemy is a ORM tool. Huh? So this fast API doesn't have its own ORM. This fast API doesn't have its own ORM, right? So it uses one ORM. What is that ORM is? SQL Alchemy is the ORM which is used. I already said what is SQL Alchemy in Flask. In Flask workshop, I said about SQL Alchemy. It is for ORM, third-party ORM, which is used by different applications. But when you install Django, Django provide its own ORM. But okay, micro frameworks doesn't provide their own ORM. Then you try to use one ORM called which one? SQL Alchemy, right? Yes, the schema is for serializing and deserializing, and this is for database configuration, and this is for performing CRUD operations. But anyway, if possible, we'll see in the next workshop, not now. In the next workshop, we'll try to see how fast API communicate with what database. But I've just given brief idea. I've given idea how to develop a fast API and how to create an endpoints and how to configure it and how to send a request by using these different approaches. Okay, na? But in the next class, we'll see. In the next class, means when I'll just put one more notice on this. Okay, like when we'll try to see how to perform CRUD operations using faster API. In the next workshop, I'll schedule that. Maybe next week or something. I'll schedule again and we'll have one more workshop where we'll discuss about fast API with database. Okay, right? Now up to this clear everyone. Okay, so I'll upload these notes in my Telegram. Huh? Yes, I'll upload these notes in my Telegram. Okay, recording is already available in YouTube. Okay, so it is live. So this is my Telegram code with Satish Gupta. This is my Telegram. I'll upload these notes in my Telegram. Just go through it. Okay, na? Right. I hope you understood. In the next workshop, I'll tell you fast API with database because right now time is not there, right? It's already 2 hours, right? So in the next workshop, we'll plan according to it, right? Thank you, everyone. We'll see you in the next workshop. Is it this workshop is helpful? All of you, is it this workshop is helpful or not? Yes, all of you. Is it this workshop is helpful? Will if I put vast API with database, will it come? Huh? Fast API with database. Are you interested or not? Fast API with database. Fast API with database. Will you come or not? Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. So I'll conduct. If you are interested, then only I'll conduct. Okay. Yes. I'll take it. Next workshop I'll take on this only. Fast API with database. Okay, na? Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. So thank you. Thank you. Right. Thank you. We'll see you in the next workshop. Okay. I'll schedule and put in my telegram. I'll schedule and put in my telegram. Right. Yes. Thank you. Okay. Right. Thank you. We'll see in the next workshop. Maybe next Sunday we'll plan it. Next Sunday we'll plan. Okay, na? Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. NareshIT, NareshIT channel is there, no? You can do that. Django, your classes, when it starts, means it will take some time, but I'll start. When Django starts, I'll tell you. When Django starts, I'll tell you. Okay, na? Right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for attending this workshop. Thank you. We'll see in the next. Thank you. It is there in YouTube. Okay, YouTube. If you have any doubts, you can just see the video again. Okay, right? Thank you. Thank you. We'll see.